It's a graduate school of engineering in digital technology. So I'm here today to present ISEP to all of you. So I hope you will enjoy these presentations. So if you have any questions, so I think Dania, she's here, so you can ask directly on the chat. Okay, so let's start. So here is the agenda of my presentations. So in 7 points, so I'll let you read this, and then we can move directly to the overview of ISEP directly. So ISEP is a French engineering graduate school in digital technologies. So we have mainly 4 domains, so computer science and cybersecurity, electronics, telecommunications and Internet of Things, image processing, signal, and artificial intelligence. Of course, when we talk about computer science, inside you have software engineering. In electronics, you have embedded system. In telecommunications, it's also related to wireless telecommunications, for example. So some key figures about ISEP. So ISEP is a non-profit private graduate school. So you have to know that in France, you have a public graduate school. You have a private with some private owner, which gets some shares. And you have a non-profit private graduate school, which means all the money we get, we have to put it in a project. So our project is to buy buildings, to develop the school, to help to train more engineers in digital technologies. So ISEP was founded in 1955. So which means we have more than 65 years of history now. We are almost in 2021 now. We are fully recognized by the National Engineering Accreditation Body, CTI, Commission des titres d'ingénieur in French, to deliver the titre de diplôme d'ingénieur, because in France, the title of engineer, it's protected. So you need to have these accreditations to be called engineer in France. Of course, we are recognized by the French state. We deliver the diplôme d'ingénieur, which is also a master degree. So in France, a master degree, it's 5 years of study in higher education. So after 18 years old, you have to study 5 years to get normally a master degree. I think in India, it's a little bit different. In other countries also, they have some different rules, so maybe 6 years, maybe a little bit more, depending on the country. So per year, so we have about 1,600 students, and we graduate each year about 400 students. So for example, in 2019, we graduate 375 students. We have a quite strong alumni network, about 10,000 alumni, and we are a member of different network associations, conferences, mainly national, so like CGE, CTI, as I mentioned previously, FESIC, CDFI, ICP. One of the key points about ISEP is over 3 years, our graduates, they got about 40,000 euros per year as a salary. So this is the annual gross salary. So you can see also different logos, so which mean we are member of these different national association, conferences, and etc. So first, you can see here you have 2 pictures. So on these pictures on your left, so we have one building. So this is the campus number 1, located in the heart of Paris, directly in the Quartier Latin, next to Sorbonne University. In this building, which is just behind the highest tower in Paris, which is Tour Montparnasse Tower. So we also host the Stanford Overseas Program in Paris. Stanford has many centers located around the world, and one of their centers in France and in Paris, it's in our campus. So on the 6th floor, You can discuss, interact with USA students directly. So about 40 students come to ISEP each quarter to interact with our students. On the second campus, so this is our new campus, which is located not too far from this first campus. You can take the metro. It takes about 20 minutes. So these new buildings, so we moved in 5 years ago. In this city, Issy-les-Moulineaux, this is what we call a smart city since 1990s. You have many French headquarters of well-known companies like Microsoft, Cisco, Orange, Huawei. So it could be easy for you after getting our degree to find first the job, of course, but during your study, you can find internships. Some projects will be given by those companies. So let's move now to the education. So I will say briefly what we can offer to all students. So of course, you have a main master degree program, which is the engineering master degree, so in which you can get the diplôme d'ingénieur. So for international students, they can join and they study 2 years to get the master degree after the bachelor degree, of course. We have innovation and entrepreneurship program. So if you have a good idea, if you want to develop your own startup, to set up your own company, you are welcome. We have some funds, some business angel who could help you to set up your company. If you have innovative ideas, of course, you have to set up a file and to be selected to get the fund. After studying master, if you would like to be more specialized in some data protection specialization or cybersecurity specialization, it is possible to join our specialized masters. So these masters are accredited by an association named CGE, Conférence des Grandes Écoles, which is well known in France. CGE, it's an association which groups together all business schools, all engineering schools, and specialized schools. For those who like to do research after the master, getting the master degree of ISEP, so they can continue after selection, of course, with a PhD. So our PhD students, they are all registered with Université Paris-Sorbonne, so which can deliver after 3 intensive years of research the PhD degree. Otherwise, for those who already work and if they would like to update their knowledge, their competencies, we provide also continuing educations in different areas linked with digital technologies. To give you an overview of the education in France in general, so you can read this slide from top to bottom. So after about 18 years old, so you finish your senior high school, then you will join higher educations. Normally, to join an engineering school, you have to study 2 years, okay? This is in green color. So you study mainly maths, physics, robotics, some fundamental in ITs, some management courses, and you study also 2 foreign languages like English, which is always mandatory, plus maybe Spanish, German, some other languages. So you study 2 years, and then you take an entrance examinations after these 2 years. So after these 2 green blocks, so you take an entrance examinations, and then you join the engineering cycle in an engineering school. So you will study 3 years. So the first year, so year 3 here, it's mainly engineering fundamental courses, and then you will select 1 specializations in year 4 and year 5. So you study during 2 years your specializations, and the final year will be an internship. So we do offer here at ISEP to Indian students this year 4 and year 5 program after your bachelor degree. So you join directly year 4 and you study 2 years, including the internship inside. So after year 5, so most of our students goes for a job in different companies. But for those who would like, they can continue with a PhD, or they can go for some other postgraduate program. So let's move to the next slide. So at ISA, we do offer several specializations in year 4 and year 5. You can see here, so those highlight in blue color, software engineering, embedded system, wireless telecommunications, and Internet of Things are fully taught in English. And these 3 specializations here in blue color are open to international students, of course. Those in orange color, so information system, business intelligence, digital, security and network, e-health, innovation and entrepreneurship specializations. So they are not fully taught in English. So if you think you have a good level in French and you would like to study in these blocks of this specialization taught in, let's say, partially in English, so you have to apply and we can see what we can do. But mainly stay focused on the 3 specialization in blue here, software engineering, embedded system, wireless telecommunications, and IoT, which are open to international students and to Indian students. For our French students who study with us with a program of 3 years, they have the possibility to go for a double degree in France. So we have here some partnerships, just to mention a few, with Centrale Supélec, with University Paris-Saclay, with a business school named Audencia Nantes, or with University Paris-Descartes. So this possibility given to our student a double degree, it's also a good manner to have a good CV, to have a good job after getting this double degree. So to summarize, so if you join ISEP, so what we provide to you, it first, of course, up-to-date and state-of-the-art courses, scientifically and technically. You will have also some management courses because you are not working alone. You will learn in a team. So this is why we develop projects, project-based learning on real case study. Within this 2 years program, so you will have an internship of 6 months, so maximum. And finally, to get the degree, it is important, of course, to have a good English level. So I'm sure for all Indian people, it's quite easy to get a TOEIC score of 800 to pass during these 2 years with us. You have also to improve your French level to reach B1 level. So I think B1 is reachable within 2 years to get the engineering degree, and also learning a new language. It's also good for all of you. So a few words about international partnerships. So ISEP is well known around the world. We have more than 100, about 40 partners spread over 33 countries. So you can see here a list of countries in which we have partners. You can find more information on our website. And you can notice that from 2014 to 2018, ISEP is one of the top 10 engineering graduate schools which send the most students abroad. Of course, COVID is here, so we send less students this year, but we hope it will start again next year if COVID-19 is over. So ISEP, as I mentioned previously in the beginning of my presentation, so we host the Stanford Overseas Program in Paris, but we also welcome a lot of international students from our partners. So all in all, per year, we have about 400 foreign students at ISEP. So among them, you have 37 nationalities. So they are coming from USA, from Europe, Eastern Europe, from Africa, from India also, from China. So all of them are welcome because we have developed many courses taught in English to have a kind of international at home for our students too. And of course, we have many associations, and among them I can mention ISEPA, which is an association dealing with international students. So if you come to ISEP to study, I invite you to join the student association, ISEP-A, which develop a lot of activities around cultures, around languages, around also employment. So let's move to the corporate partnership, which is an important thing to know. As a private non-profit engineering school, we work a lot with many companies. So they help us in 4 domains. So first, the pedagogy. So they are professional, they are involved, and they will be here to give you lectures. So per year, we have about 200 lecturers coming to us. And so they deliver to you the state of the art in the domain. So they have an expertise in the fields. So you will have their competencies. They are involved in many internship because companies provide to us many internships. So you can see here more than 7,000 per year offer. Of course, internship, you need to apply. Applying for internship is like applying for a job. So it's a good training for you. Of course, you will be prepared for that. They offer jobs, of course. You are not eligible here for apprenticeship, but I would like to mention that they also offer to our students a possibility to go and carry out an apprenticeship. They do offer also a job projects with in your program. So this is why the project are really case study. It will help them. And thanks to all this, so you can notice here on the last column on your right, our graduates has 100 employment in less than 3 months. Most of them work in Ile-de-France, which is Paris region, and 12% of them so work abroad. And the others, so they continue their studies or they are going back to their countries, and we have no news from them. So on this slide, a few logos of different companies. Okay, so you can see for the industry, we have Alstom, Air Liquide, SNCF, which is a French, national French train company, Safran, Dassault. In different fields like bank, we have Société Générale, BNP Paribas. Otherwise, in software, we have Microsoft, Cisco, in hardware, Texas. So many companies, more than 400, which are in contact with us in the different domains I just mentioned. So let's talk about student life. Studying is good, but having a rich and full student life, it's necessary to be well integrated here in France and at ISEP. So ISEP has more than 30 associations, so I invite you to join many of them. So, as I mentioned before, ISEPA, which is linked with international students, but for those who like to have a professional, let's say, manner to work here in France, they can join Junior ISEP, which is our, let's say, junior enterprise. They are well ranked since many years now among the 30 best junior enterprise in France. They get many awards. If you have good idea, would you like to innovate, you can join Garage ISEP, for example. So this is a good way to develop your ideas before designing and creating your own startup. If you like sailings, of course, Paris is not too far from the sea. So it's about 2-hour drives. So you can join some sailing clubs. So you have many clubs. I invite you to check on our website, or please feel free to ask me questions if you would like to know more. So let's move now to the job placement. This is important. Studying is good. Getting the degree is fine, but it's better to get a job. All for that, of course. You have to know that so 100 of our students get a job within 3 months. In which domain, in which sector of activities? So I can just point here point out here two main domains, which is information system engineer and information industrial design engineer. This is the main two domains which recruit our graduates, so more than 50%. And the activity sectors, it's also linked. So it's finance, insurance, computing, or ICT industry, which attract about 50% of our graduates. Okay, so let's move to some success story from ISEP. So I'll let you read this slide. So you can notice different companies' name: Google, Louis Vuitton, Thales, Samsung, Amazon. So all these graduates are part of our alumni, of course. So we have a book in which all the names are mentioned with their contact. So you can contact them if you need to have advice, or if you need to have some job opportunities directly. So how to join ISEP? And so of course you can contact here ESC, of course, European Study Center, to apply, to submit your applications. So I just here want to remind you that the program what we do offer to Indian students is named ISEP Engineering Master Degree Program. So if you remember my presentations, it lasts 2 years. So the 2 last year of engineering cycle. So you have 3 academic semester followed by 1 internship of 6 months, of course. And if you comply with the study regulations, you will get what we call here in France le diplôme d'ingénieur. So the same degree as our French students, which is also master degree. Okay, the program are fully taught in English, and candidates with a bachelor degree in these different fields are eligible. And for the others, we can double check, of course. So I think that's it. This is I'm here now to answer your questions, or you can ask also DSC or Dania. So we are here to help you. So thank you for attending these presentations, and I hope to hear from you now. Dania? Hi, Dania. So let me see. So we have a good questions here. Yes, so we have a good questions about scholarships. So you have to know that at ISEP, you will pay the same tuition fees as our French students. So the tuition fees for the program here, it's about 9,000 euros. So 9,080 euros exactly per year. So let's say you have a kind of scholarship, because normally for international students, it's much more expensive. Otherwise, you can check with Campus France. We have different kind of scholarship, Sharpa scholarship, for example, FL scholarship. So if you are good students, and you could be eligible to get those scholarship. There is no age limit for taking admission at ISEP, okay? So it's open to different age of students. There is no age limit. So to get enrolled in PhD, so first, you need 3 things about PhD. So I'm not talking here about PhD, but I can give you advice. Of course, you need to get good records. Of course, PhD students require, good academic records, this fiber for doing research. If you have already published somewhere, it's a good thing to know. And then you need to find a good subject and some funding, okay? Of course, your supervisor, your PhD supervisor, is here to help you. Normally, when a PhD supervisor publishes a subject, behind him, he has some funding, let's say, sources. But in all cases, you need to apply. So PhD is a specific program which you need to apply and check if there is an opportunity or not to go for a PhD. No one goes directly from master to PhD. You need to be selected again. If you have a work experience before joining PhD, yes, yes, depending what kind of job you are doing now, but it's open. I mean, everyone can apply for joining a PhD, and then there will be a selection. So the GPA, so the minimum GPA for being admitted to our EMDP program, ISAP Engineering Master D program, it's a minimum of 60%, which is quite low, but we are going to take care about all the aspects of your academic transcript, of course. So if you fail many times, in which subject you are strong, in which one you are weak, and of course, if you are eligible, we will invite you to go for an interview. And we also would like to know how you express, how you communicate, and how motivated you are to go for our program. Other questions? So is French language mandatory for jobs? So French language is not mandatory to get a job, because in France you have many international companies, but you are living in France. So I think French language is mandatory if you would like to live in France, to buy things, to exchange with French people. Of course, young people, most of them speak English now, but you have some elder people who prefer still to speak French. And I think if you could interact in French, you will have much more opportunities, because you have many French companies. So this is why it is required before getting your engineering master degree. Okay, you need to have a B1 level, and you have to take a test for that. So for your batch, it is mandatory. So you need to reach B1 level. So my advice before coming to France, it's always to already start to learn French a little bit in India. It will give you this flavor of French culture, French language. And when you come, you can survive maybe a little bit better. And of course, at ISEP, French language will be provided to you 4 hours per week. It is not enough, but you have to train also by yourself and try to go as much as possible in getting a better level in French. Do university organize a recruitment program with a leading industry in the final years? Yes, actually, each year we organize, of course, if we are not in COVID period, 2 fairs. So these 2 fairs is for helping our students to get internship and jobs. So you have to be prepared, prepare your resume, be well dressed, and come to attend the fairs. And you can directly discuss with HR from these companies, the leading companies, leading industries, and to see if you can directly get the intern position or job position in the company. But of course, you need also to send your resume to different companies which do not attend the fairs, because we have so many companies in France, in Europe, or around the world. It's open. I mean, it's like internship. You can do it anywhere in the world. It's not mandatory to stay in France, you know. The main advantage to stay in France for your internship is by law, you will get a stipend. It's a minimum stipend is about 500 per month, but our students usually get 800 per month, depending on the internship subject, on the companies, and about your academic records too. So will ISEP help in developing the language skills? Yes, so I already mentioned it. So you will have English language courses, you will have French language courses in order to take the TOEIC test and the French test. So what are the ratio of theoretical and practical classes? I would say it will depend on the subjects. Okay, some subjects are purely theoretical. Some are, let's say, 50% theoretical and practical. So at master level, you have more theoretical than practical classes. So it's about 60 to 40, or 70 to 30%. So 70 theoretical and 30 practical. But you have this huge 6-month internship, which is purely practical because you will join a company. Okay, so for sure you will be put in a real situation as engineer working in some project. So in different projects, some are more theoretical, but for sure it's mainly practical. So far, no. So in France, actually, all international students are welcome. Okay, you could have your PCR test before coming. So of course it should be negative. Otherwise, you can come directly at the airport, the international airport, and the test carried carried out on you. And if you are positive, so you will be quarantined. If not, so you can go wherever you want. So, except engineering courses, is there any masters for agriculture in France? Yes. So, agriculture's business, they have different masters in France. So, if you would like, you can just check with ESC. I think ESC has many other schools. Business schools, other engineering school for agriculture, for example. Uh, at ISAB, we do not provide a master in agriculture, but we have some project linked with agriculture because, in right now, I think agriculture, you have many sensors, you have many automations, you have many electronics involved. So you have many cameras, signal processing, image processing. I think agriculture needs a lot of IT things actually now. So depending on which part of agriculture you would like to work, but ISAP, it could be also a choice. Is textile management master course is there? No, we do not have textile management. We are only in digital technologies. So electronics, telecommunications, artificial intelligence. So does ISAP allow their students to showcase their technical knowledge in the technical fairs or exhibitions? We organize some fairs for students, okay, to show to the other students what you are doing. This is how it works. Of course, if you want to show what your technical knowledge in some during your interview with a company, do not hesitate. So bring your equipment, and you can just during your interview show to the HR person or the technical person that you have the right competencies, that you work on different projects, that you build something, that you design something. So please feel free to do that because I think it's really important to sell yourself to a company, so to get the positions in the company. All right. I don't know if there's other questions. Maybe I should. So criteria for getting scholarships. So the scholarship with Campus France, they have their criteria. So first, for the FL scholarship, you need to have a good academic records. So I would say by good, I mean excellent, because this scholarship is a well-known scholarship. There is a lot of applications, and the school will ask this scholarship for you. So per year, we just select 1 or 2 students. because there is a limitations in the number of scholarship per engineering school. So I think you have to be one of the top of your in your university to get this FL scholarship. For Sharp Act scholarship, so I think it's more reasonable. So I invite you to check with Campus France scholarship so website, and to check the different criteria, how to apply, how to get the scholarship. Other questions? So we have questions here. So apart from technical, does ISEB has arts and science program? So if you mean by science program, so because science it's wide, so if you mean by physics or only physics or only maths, so no. ISEB use math and physics in digital technologies, but we do not have directly physics domain, purely physics or purely mathematics. So we are in digital technologies dealing with, let's say, modern technologies field like electronics and how to build system, how to design system, how to comply with different regulations in telecommunications, how to optimize so technologies for mankind. So this is what we have, but we don't have directly physics or mathematics directly. So the percentage recommend, you need to have a minimum percentage of 60%. Okay, this is a minimum, but you need to be strong in scientific subjects. Okay, if you have electronics, if you have scientific and technological subjects, of course, so telecommunications. So all these parts you need to be strong. So there is a questions here about the, oh, sorry. Will there be entrance test? No, there is no entrance test. So you apply with all the required documentations, and if you are eligible, you will be invited to go for an interview. Okay? So this is quite simple. And then you will get what we call a provisional admissions, in which the process is stated. Of course, you can contact the ESC and they will give you more information about how to apply and what is the process. Okay. Some other questions, guys? So I just, there is a question. There is a question which just disappeared. Students from India need to quarantine due to COVID. I think I already answered to this question. So again, so France welcome all international students, including from India. So if you could take a PCR test before coming, it should be negative. This is it's okay. If you do not have any test, so you will take a test when you arrive at the international airport here in Paris, and the test will be given to you. And if it is negative, so it's okay, you can go anywhere. Otherwise, you have to be quarantined for 7 days. Then again, test. Then okay, you know the process, I think. So the internship. So how does it work? So you have a 6-month internship during your last semester. So and for internship, so I invite you, of course, to prepare your resume, to attend our fairs. We organize 2 fairs per year for those who are looking for internship or jobs. And of course, you will be prepared. So to prepare how to write your resume, prepare to how to take the interview, and how to write a resume in French also. And then, so you bring all this, you send all this to different companies. You will have to check on our database. We have a platform in which we receive these different internship from our corporate partners, so more than 7,000 per year. So you have to select which one are suitable for you according to your criteria, so domain of expertise, maybe the stipend, where is it located, and then you apply. So applying for internship is like applying for a job. So then if you are selected by the companies, they will invite you to go for the interview. So you have to show all your skill and competencies, and you have to answer as you answer for a job position. So then when it is approved, you get the internship. You have to go through the administrative procedure, and then you can join the company. Okay. Well, some other questions? Yeah, so we have here questions about stay back. Okay, so this is a good question. So we have so I think two or 3 years back, so an agreement between French and Indian state, in which for all students from India who get the master degree, so they can have a stay back of 1 year plus 1 year. So 1 year renewable for 1 more year. So during this 2 years time, normally you have time to find a job. And if you find a job, then you can stay forever if you want. So you can, okay, this is a good opportunity. So it's 2 years stay back. We say 1 plus 1 because you have to renew it after 1 year. Okay. So otherwise, of course, you can move to other countries. Some of your some of our Indian graduates, they also move to Canada, which is also attractive countries after getting the master degree. So it's also an option for them, because with a master degree, a diplôme d'ingénieur in France, it's also easy for them to immigrate to Canada, for example. So this is possible too. But in all case, you have a stay back in France for 1 plus 1 year. You will have 2 years time to get a job, to change job, to see different job opportunities, to test them, and to see what you like. So questions about quarantine again. Yes, so if you have a positive, if your test is positive, of course you have to stay for your quarantine. So in France, actually, it's quite simple. Quarantine will be due at your own home, okay? Because at ISEP, we have a housing office. So before joining ISEP, we are making sure that you have a housing. Of course, you will help for that. And you will be stay in quarantine in your own room or apartment, okay? And yeah, you have to pay for your food and by yourself, or with the help of your classmates. Okay. Okay, so do we have some other questions? Okay, so I think I don't know, Dania, how long should last the presentations or this interaction with the students? If there is no more questions, maybe we can end here. Oh, sorry, I have a question from ESC, as I just saw right now. So how can I publish it? How students can apply for PR. So maybe you can just let me know what is PR exactly. ESC Bori Valley. Oh, permanent residency. Okay. When you get admission at ISEP, okay, you will get some documents, and then you will go to the French consulate to apply for your student visa. And when you get your student visa, actually, it's a specific visa, which is also a resident permit. Okay, so you have a resident permit for 1 year normally. So then you come to France, you stay 1 year, and before the deadline of your PR, you have to renew it. So ISA will give you all the administrative documents from the schools to renew your PR, and then you go to the French prefecture of where you are staying, and then you renew your PR for 1 more year because the program lasts 2 years. And after that, so you have a stay back for 1 + 1 year. And if you find a job, of course, you can stay forever in France and apply for a permanent residency if you want. So this is named titre de séjour. So if you have a job, if you settle down in France, so you apply and then you will get your PR. So Jamal has a questions about what would be the graph of career perspective and growth after completion of courses. So I think these questions is quite tricky because it's always depending on you, because we give you all the competencies and the degree confirm that you have the required competencies to be engineer in this digital technologies field, and then your career depends mainly on you, in which company, how you work hard, how you see things. Are you going for some MBA degree or more study, get more competencies? So the future depends only on you. I think some students are happy as engineers, so they stay as engineers. So they have their competencies, they develop systems, they design, they test, and they get married, and they have a home here. They maybe go back to their countries. Some of you would like to have more experiences. They move from one company to another each year or each 2 years, and then they pursue their career with some MBA, and then they get higher positions in management, for example. So there is no we have almost 10,000 alumni, and I show you a few of them with good career, but some of them are also just engineer and they're happy with their life. So there is no general rules with these questions. I hope that if you are students who would like to have a better position, to have a lot of money, to get a good job with a high salary, so it's a question of discussions and how you see your future. Jamal. Okay, thank you to all of you for attending this ISEP presentations, this webinar. So myself or my colleague, we will be back for next webinar in a few weeks, I think. So we will organize it with ESC again. So if you have more questions, if you would like to have more informations about the different specializations, embedded systems, software engineering, wire telecommunications, and IoT, we are here to answer all your questions. So now I think it's over. So thank you. And I hope to receive your application through ESC directly. And so So, and if we do not see each other, so I wish you a very good end of the year. Keep safe. Okay, this is the most important things. Health first, and then see you later. Bye bye.